I'm showing you some pictures of the garden that I shot a few minutes ago because I'm unable to show you the pictures that I really want to show you. Americans enjoying their freedom of being Americans without threats and intimidation. Someone should come here and make a movie of this place. Really. I had lunch at the Navy food court today. As I said, I wish I could have taken a video of this absolutely beautiful and colorful place, people-wise. But that would have been illegal, unethical, and impossible, really. It was refreshingly different, though, and so very civilized. It felt good to be among my peers, fellow veterans and shipmates, with their khaki pants and black jackets. Camouflage uniforms, too, of course. But, of course, there are no more Cracker Jacks. I miss the Cracker Jack. My peers would have been the old salts, a time of wooden ships and iron men. Well, maybe not that far back. Oh well. There were many major food corporations there, but I had breakfast at the IHOP. Standing in line, I noticed a woman in the next food company over, a military wife, I thought, 4 young daughters with maybe her husband away at sea. Maybe. I don't know that to be true, of course. The baby was in her arms, and the other 3 young girls were sporting beads in their hair. They were so beautiful. As I sat down to eat eggs, sausages, toast, hash browns, and freshly brewed coffee, in a cup, by the way, which I thought had way too much coffee in it, my first inspirational sight was an attractive African-American lady, and on her uniform was the rank of Master Chief Petty Officer. Master Chief Petty Officer. We have come a long way since Chief Bashir. Across from her were some Navy Italian officers, or as I should say, some Italian Navy officers. Allies, no doubt, who spoke to each other in English. That was when I decided to take a good look at where I was and the scenes that were in front of me. In the food court, there were 7 integrated couples, 5 of which had children with them. One family in particular stood out, not because they were a mixed couple. That is all too common here, but because of the young son. He must have been around 7 years old, I would guess, but he was sporting a fresh mohawk haircut. That is why he stood out. I couldn't help but wonder, how did such a young man gain an appreciation for a mohawk haircut? Then I realized that this multicultural era was very rich. I wondered if there were places in the United States where a mixed couple may feel the need to be armed when they travel. Not from fear from people from the Middle East, but from their own fellow Americans. What a shame if that were the case. Anyway, young aviators of every ethnic background were everywhere. I remember a time that such a sight would have been very rare indeed. Seeing 2 young Asian pilots in the company of 2 black aviators made me feel good. Their bars and oak leaf being worn with pride. There were white officers and flyers too, of course, but I saw these men in particular through my filters of time. Then, as I fixed my gaze on the aviators, the pilots, it wasn't long that I started to notice women pilots too. Excellent. What a country. These were all real people of every persuasion, highly educated from all over the United States. I imagine that they had learned to live with each other and to gain respect for each other and the jobs they did. I felt very proud of these young men and women. But I'm also painfully aware that their place in the United States tonight, where hate, prejudice, and mayhem is masquerading as pride, tradition, and culture. Diversity in those areas would be considered a dirty word. I decided to have breakfast in a very slow manner. I wanted to take in as much of this sight as I could. In reading their insignias, I saw bubbleheads, surface guys, and aviators, enlisted and officers. And yes, some old salts too. Crippled with age, their walk was not as vigorous as it once was, but their pride was intact. On their head, they would wear hats that told their stories. The Vietnam vets did not want you to forget them, and the retirees wanted everyone to know that they served with honor. Sorry, just a bit choked up. There were government contractors there too. Their well-pressed suits and very shiny shoes stood out. But with over 100 people there at the food court, everyone would have been represented. About 30 feet away from me in this crowded place, there were two women in civilian clothes. short hair, and they both wore gold earrings, little balls really, and they were talking away into their own world. It was obvious to me that they were very close, and I thought to myself, we should all be so lucky to have really close friends as these two seems to be. I only noticed them really because of the strange occasional laugh of the younger of the two. They were very happy together, obviously. The relative calm was broken by a siren alerting everyone. As it turned out, it was caused by a father pushing a baby carriage with two very young children. Perhaps, maybe, Mom might have been away at sea. Anyway, he absent-mindedly tried to open a door that was not an exit. Soon, the sirens were off, and the father made his exit through a proper door. As you might have guessed, security might have been everywhere, but I didn't see any. Stealth, I guess. As I sat there eating, my heart was busting with pride. True pride, as I watched men and women wearing their uniform with pride. Their epaulets showing their ranks over their left shirt pocket, showing their branch of service, and their uniform showing their love for country. An ideal and what it can be. I feel safe in this city in southeastern Virginia, and it is my wish that wherever you are in the United States, you and your family can feel very safe and secure tonight, no matter your race or who you chose to love.